talk about a revolution, most people think violence, without realizing that the real content of any kind of revolutionary thrust lies in the principles and the goals that you're striving for, not in the way you reach them. You reach them. In the way you reach them.
Okay. I want to go over some things. And I'm going to start with the definition. And I'm going to present my screen. Hey, Break Rule. Hey, Wawa. I wanted to go over my last video because I think that it's evident that in my last video, a lot of things weren't understood and clarified. And so I want to go ahead and go over that and point out a few things. I got a few acknowledgments that I want to give towards Kevin. And I want to identify some of the problems that I've been stating from the very beginning. And my last video, we had a lot of examples of these things. And so I'm going to use my last video to see if I can help people get a better perspective of what I've been trying to state. Right here on the screen, I have the definition of self-awareness. And it's the conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. Okay. Also, one of these statements, it's us right here. Self-awareness is your ability to perceive and understand the things that make you who you are as an individual, including your personality, your actions, your values, beliefs, emotions, and so on and so forth. But I want to highlight actions. And it's very important because a lot of people are very unaware of their actions. Thank you, Mama. Last week I had a discussion and I was opening up with my discussion about how men do need protection. And I was highlighting examples as to why they need protection from men. The reason why I had this discussion was because I opened up about how I was concerned about the treatment and behavior that Brother Kevin Wesley, Brother V Bennett, and Brother Shaka, and even Brother LaTruth have been receiving on this internet. I went on a panel to discuss things with Neo X. And that topic sparked something for me to also highlight. So a lot of people, hey, Brother Young Heru, thank you for coming. And I want to give you a shout out as well. I want to let you know that I've heard some discussion about your music. And I went and I took a look for myself. And you have great music. You are authentic. You are original. And you know what? A lot of people with their own music, most of the time, they're underrated. But you're doing a good job. And I'm going to shout you out for that, brother. Stay true to you. You get what I'm saying? And people is, people gonna hate. And that's the thing that people need to stop doing. But they gonna hate. But you keep doing your thing because real gonna recognize. You feel what I'm talking about? But I just want to go into dialogue about what happened with the last discussion that I had. And I want to point out some things in this video to show people why I've been discussing and why I've been having topics based upon this whole situation, because it's evident that people are completely unaware. Okay. Now, let me go to this video real quick. This isn't it. And I'm going to share my screen because I want people to see something that is evident that a lot of people missed. And that is the problem. Hold. That was the video with Kevin Wesley. That was the video with Kevin Wesley. I'm not getting to that video quite yet. I'm going to share this. And let me get to a part that everyone can see. And of course, with these systems, they act how they want when they want to, right? But it's okay. And I don't, and when people come in, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my moderators as well too, because a lot of things happened in that last discussion, and I think it's time we go ahead and fix some of those things, correct some of those things, make some changes. Now, when I went live with Kevin Wesley, when I went live about my discussion, I invited Kevin Wesley up to my panel because I wanted to have a discussion with him. I wanted to ask him a question. And he had every right to be up there. And regardless to how anybody understood, the reason for my topic was because of what Kevin Wesley had went through. And thank you. Shout out, Break Room. Shout out. You a real one, mama. Thanks. And when he came up on my panel, we went into dialogue about his perspective. And in his perspective, it was very relative to the subject that I was discussing. Now, I want everybody to take a look at the screen. And I want everybody to see what this statement is. Let me see if I can make it a full screen.
I responded to Kelly.
Is that clear? Is that clear for everyone to see? If not, this statement from NeoX says, I'm not going to say anything to Kevin. I got a question about the show. This is the point that I've been trying to share with everyone. That a lot of people are not aware of their behaviors. They're simply not aware. And what happens in turn of your behaviors? People respond. Are you get what I'm saying? Now, I'll go into further note of what happened. I want to show this. I worry because of the society that we live in, the communities that we have. Two Black boys growing up in this society. It's a scary thing. I was a first-time mother. I had twins. And every day is a worry. When they step out of this door, is it going to be the police? Are they going to be falsely accused of something? Are they going to end up having to defend themselves in a way that they can be found punishable by law? Are they going to have situations with females that end up hurting them? You get what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted to speak about, bringing up awareness of how we can see things to be a certain way. And in some cases, they may not necessarily be it, y'all. They may not necessarily be it. That is the point that I want to give. Let me bring her up real quick. Kevin, do not leave. Let me see what because I don't want to be rude. Hey, Neo, thank you for coming, Mama. I appreciate you coming to my channel. I know I got a small channel. I know that a lot of the topic of discussions have been about NeoX. I do want to tell you my intent today is solely because I took accountability for myself, but it was solely not in the intent to attack you, right? I do want to give Kevin and V Bennett and Shaka room to speak about I guess the meeting up of what we had, right? But not in regards to offend or attack you. But everybody has a perspective, and I honor the fact that they wanted to come to my platform and give their side of the point. And I hope you don't take offense to that. Now, I'm gonna
absolutely not. And I commend you on that. That shows you that you definitely
right here. And the reason why I'm gonna stop this is to let everybody know that I gave her a welcome. I also informed her that I was not attacking her. Now, people discussing situations that include you is not an attack. And so I have to inform everyone. If Kevin, V Bennett, Brother Shaka, or anybody wants to come on my platform and speak on anything in regards to any situation, and it may be about you, that does not mean it's an attack. Okay? But I want you to further see where things went wrong and how it had nothing to do with Kevin or and I might have been able to change some factors for myself, but I'll definitely go into that.
A bigger person. I appreciate you acknowledge that you attacked me first, and and that I just responded to you. I wish other people would see it that way, but they won't because of their ego. But I actually had a question about the show. I wasn't gonna say anything to Kevin at all. I mean, we already on hash it out. He's gonna feel how he feel. I'm gonna feel how I feel. I mean, it is what it is. I don't hate him. I don't wish nothing ill on him. I wish him the best. I hope everything is okay with his newborn and all that. I wish Kevin the best. I just lost respect for him. That's it. There's nothing.
Now, she said through all of that she was not going to say anything to Kevin. Not only did she type it on the screen, but she vocalized it. She stated that she was not going to say anything to Kevin. Now, anything that you do after asking me the question and us going into dialogue is opposed to what you stated you were going to do. This is self-awareness. This is the problem. This is the behavior that a lot of people go on and do in life, and they do not even understand why they run into problematic situations. Am I being clear now? Am I making sense now? It was wrong. You were wrong. She was wrong. Okay? So now you went in further into asking your question. She wanted to ask Kevin a question. And in that moment, I could have literally cut the whole conversation. And that's where I was wrong. Because I placed Kevin in another moment that he could have been that it basically was uncomforting. The whole time I was trying to make it a comfortable situation for everyone to be adults and to be able to discuss matters as adults. And it was very evident that people who are not aware of themselves, they get on the platform and they do the same thing over and over. And it affected Kevin. And see, this is how I grew up. You can't go in everybody's house and put your foot on people's couches and speak and treat their guests any kind of way. That's rude, it's selfish, and it's inconsiderate. And as the owner of this house, it was wrong of me to allow you to misbehave in that manner. It was very wrong. But even in that manner, Kevin still held himself as a disciplined, responsible adult. He answered your question. And the question was, can he at least give you some grace for identifying or proving that V. Bennett was in somebody's comments talking about him? But if you were listening to him, you would understand that that was not the concern in the first place. That wasn't the problem. The whole problem was the interactions that they can relate to with you. Hey, JTV, thank you for coming in. Thank you for everybody coming in. And I wish I wanted a lot of people to see this. And if anybody wants to come back or want me to play it back, I will play it back, because this is a problem. This is an ongoing problem. You stated that you weren't going to say anything to Kevin. You wrote that in the chat that you weren't going to say anything to him. But either way, I didn't jot you down. I didn't drop you down from the panel. I let you ask your question. He gave you an answer, and it wasn't in your favor. You didn't want that answer. And so y'all continued dialogue. He continued dialogue with you, and then you turned around and called him a bitch ass nigga. You called him a bitch ass nigga. And said, oh, well, he kept cutting you off. He didn't have to respond to you. That's what you're not understanding. because your whole point was you didn't have anything to say to him. That was disrespectful. And if you didn't have anything to say to him, don't say nothing to him. And if you when you did say something to him and he went into dialogue, it's no longer in your terms of how the dialogue goes, because you shouldn't have said nothing like you were supposed to from the beginning. Am I making sense? Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Break Room. I appreciate it so much. Because a lot of people are just unaware of their behaviors. I acknowledge that I would not attack Neo anymore. That was my self-accountability. But that did not mean that I changed my mind about how these men have been treated. And it did not change my mind about how Neo has behavior patterns within herself that she has yet to identify. And that is what I was trying to get across to her. Even on her panel, I tried to state this information to her. But it was important to her to prove that V. Bennett actually was talking about Kevin. But you missed the whole point. So me going into dialogue, talking about the historical and present day problems that men face in this society, our Black men face in this society, because women cannot identify the fact that men need protection as well. And not only do they just need protection, they need protection from us because of our toxic mannerisms, because of our toxic behaviors. Am I making sense? Young Heru, that's why she made her channel private today. I seen that. I tried to go on her channel and it was actually private because I wanted to get to the point about what she stated, her last statement in regards to having her run in with brother Kevin, which I thought was very ill. And I have an apology that I need to give to Kevin, because he has had this run in multiple times trying to defend himself, trying to prove his name against these accusations. He has faced these treatments all by himself, and I allowed that situation to happen on my panel. And that was very hurtful. How can you trust someone when they allow the mistreatment, especially if you're speaking up for the mistreatment? You get what I'm saying? That was wrong. And not only did you go, not only did I put Neo down from the panel because she was disrespectful, she went further into the comments to antagonize this man over and over and over and over and over. And a lot of people in the comments talking about he's taking over the show. He did not take over the show. He was a part of the show. He was the main reason for my show. Which part did we miss? That's the problem. We're not paying attention. A lot of people do not pay attention at all. I'm talking about the mistreatment of men, the misconduct of us women, the toxicity, how easy it is for us to be attackers and then turn around and become victims because you've worked the man up to a point where he starts to respond in a manner that you aren't accepting to, that you're not prepared for. Now, when Kevin got very upset with the continuance, as he should. Let me see what you said, Mama. You said you didn't allow it. You trusted her to do what she said she was going to do, but didn't. Thank you. Thank you, Break Room. I really appreciate it, because to be honest with you, I felt horrible. And I keep feeling horrible. And the reason why I keep feeling horrible is because I'm new to this. And I strongly want to defend this man. And I went on her platform. And what she calls a woman to woman. She asked me for a woman to woman discussion. But in all honesty, it was not a woman to woman discussion. It was 3 women to 1 woman discussion. Now, I don't have a problem with those ladies, and they were very nice, they were respectful, and as was I. It was a lot of disrespectful moments towards me from Neo and from her commenters. But I did not gain offense. I did not get emotional. I did not antagonize anyone. I did not further offense or anything in that regard. Now, the whole conversation did go into Neo's favor, and it probably did not help or justify my whole point or for these men. And for that, I am deeply apologetic to these men for that. Hey, V, thank you for coming. You get what I'm saying? But hey, Miss Andrea, thank you for coming, mama. But this moment right here is what I wanted to identify to everyone and let them know that this is the point that I've been trying to get to Neo for so long from the very beginning. That it has nothing to do with the ins and outs, the betweens, or anything. It has everything to do with her being unaware of herself. Young Heru, she do that to everyone. That's the problem, and she still can't see her wrong. Exactly. You stated that you weren't going to speak to Kevin. You had nothing to say to him. You had a question for me. And then after getting your answer, you asked Kevin a question. And that is where it went wrong. That is where you were wrong. You should have never asked that question, especially if you weren't going to be accepting to whether the answer was in your favor or not. That is the problem. That is what I want her to see. And then she says, well, I stated that I saw her heart. I did. I saw her heart. I saw her heart in her pain of what she has went through and how she carries it every day in response to different people all the time. She is identifying the people that hurt her through her traumas onto other people that she comes into run-ins in her present day in life. That is problematic. It is not healthy. And a lot of us women do it every day. And that was an example of what happened on my last show. I take offense to that because I don't allow people in my home, in my real home, to be disrespectful to my guests in my real home. And I owe Kevin an apology for that. And I hope that he comes through sometime today because I want to vocalize this apology. Because I've been doing a lot of things as a new platform, making a lot of mistakes. And V Bennett, Brother Shaka, and Brother Kevin have been very patient and understanding. And that says a lot about their character. Hey, Divinely, thank you for coming. V Bennett says she decided to hide all her videos today. I wonder what happened. Me too. I wonder what happened because I wanted to speak on that video and I still will. She was disrespectful, mama. She was. And that was very hurtful to me because I'm trying to make a space where everybody can be adults and speak like adults. I'm not even getting into the fact whether you disagree or not. You get what I'm saying? I even told one of the people that came over because she stated Brother LaTruth did abuse his wife. Now, we all know I disagree with that statement. But I even stated to her, I said, and that's okay if we have disagreements, but as adults, we should be able to vocalize these agreements and not be disrespectful to one another. I stated that way before Neo even got on the platform. And Neo got on the platform and became disrespectful to Kevin because it did not go in her favor. Well, neither did the conversation that I had with her on my platform. It didn't go in favor. But did I disrespect anyone? Did I call anybody a bitch ass nigga? No, I did not. I did not go in her comments and taunt people and become disrespectful. See, here's the thing about a panel. When you have a panel or a platform or you want to speak in front of people, you get what I'm saying? You become in a format of a leadership role. Even if you're not a leader, you wouldn't consider yourself a leader, it's cool, but that's a leadership role. And you cannot behave in a manner where it looks like you cannot control yourself. And that is what was shown on this platform. Thank you, V. Bennett. And I identified with a lot of those tactics. I identified and saw a lot of those tactics. And I'm happy in the sense that it happened on my platform so that I can be able to show what I've been discussing this whole time, because it's evident that if I use any other information, then it's some backlash. But she proved it, and let me go back to it. Let me go back to it. Just let me back up.
And and that I just responded to you. I wish other people would see it that way, but they won't because of their ego. But I actually had a question about the show. I wasn't gonna say anything to Kevin at all. I mean, we already on hash it out. He's gonna feel how he feel. I'm gonna feel how I feel. I mean, it is what it is. I don't hate him. I don't wish nothing ill on him. I wish him the best. I hope everything is okay with his newborn and all that. I wish Kevin the best. I just lost respect for him. That's it.
Now, did everybody hear it? Out of all of that, what was said? I'm not going to say anything to Kevin. Who was unaware of the statement that they made? Neo was unaware of the statement that she made. She typed it in the channel and she said it vocally. And she was throwing shots. Yes, she was. But guess what? I try not to be emotionally attached, because that's what happens when you get emotionally deep. You respond emotionally. And that's another plus for Brother Kevin. Kevin didn't respond emotionally. Even though everything has been in regards to him, he has not responded emotionally yet in that moment. Big ups to the brother. And this is why I say that he is the man that I say he is. This is why I came in defense for him. Because through all of it, he didn't fail at any moment of showing integrity and discipline and being emotional. They want to say he crying. No. Neo has been crying. And she did it on my show. You disrespected that man, and then he still continued to answer your question. He still continued. Yes, mentally abusive. Now, Neo wanted to come back up on my panel, and I wasn't gonna bring her up. You want to know why? Because fool me one time, shame on who? You lied. You lied. And what's the saying goes? If you a lie, you'll cheat. If you cheat, you'll steal. If you steal, you will kill. So thus you can't be trusted. I would be a fool to have let that go on. I tried to avoid that. Not only that, but I tried to get that process to stop. You kept going on in the comments, and rightfully so, he went off. Now, a lot of people, look what he said. Look what he said. Now, look what he was having to deal with. How many of us knows how it feels to be on a panel and have people literally taunting you in the comments, and you having to stand there and take it? Do anybody know what that feel like? I know a lot of Brother LaTruth and his content creators, they got that feeling. They had that treatment. Thank you, Brother Divinely. They went in with these two brothers. And that is what they got this entire time. People who are not considerate. Thank you, Break Room. Like you don't care. You have no boundaries. You're not aware of self. Thank you, Black Beauty. It got a lot to do with Black Beauty. It has a lot to do with self-awareness. Because if you are aware of self, you would know that if you're going to say that I'm not going to speak to this person, that is something that you would actually do. And that is not what she did. My video, my live video did not change in subject. It changed because of her actions. That is what happened. You didn't have to say anything to this man. Hostile. See how you changing the point? I could be upset. You want to know why? Because it was on my platform. It was towards my guest on my panel. You let anybody come in your house and behave any kind of way to your guests? Is that how we do things now? It's okay to be upset with how Kevin responded to being antagonized, but it's not okay for us to take accountability in the fact that you got up here and lied. This is self-accountability. This is self-awareness. When you become more accountable of yourself and realize that is the smallest point of the biggest factor in this entire situation, because none of it had to go on. Days ago, you mad about something that happened online. Yeah, I'm mad about something that happened days ago online on my channel, and I got every right. Now, if you had discipline and self-awareness of yourself, you wouldn't even be over here to entertain it. That says a lot about you, Black Beauty. I could talk about what affected me, and I could talk about it for years if I want to. But you have the decision to go on your platform and talk about it. And you also have the decision to go on your or way to another channel and not see it at all. But you chose to come over here between people I don't know in real life. And guess what? Neo doesn't know Kevin in real life either. Thank you for bringing that point up. She doesn't know him in real life either. But she made many videos about him. And he's made videos to dispute these things. And she says that, oh, he's crying and they're alone. And all he asked was for her to leave him alone. I see you, V. I want to, that's how we'll do that. I think I banned her because that's just ignorant. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And we defend these things. We defend these manners. We defend these problems. And it's not okay. I didn't even put on my topic what I was talking about. I said self-awareness. I did, and I'm still talking about self-awareness, but I didn't specify that I was talking about any of those subjects. You see what I'm saying? But people are watching to see what I'm talking about. And I'm glad. I'm okay with that. You get what I'm saying? But come on, let's just be honest. Who is the problem in this situation? Who's the problem in this situation? Now, in her response to this video, in Neo's response to this video, you guys, she went into dialogue and she stated that there was a moment that I was possibly triggered because of my past, because of what Kevin was stating towards her. And I would like to clarify that. Let me see. And like stalker, these women are profiles defended as child abuser. Neo X is on camera shoving a child. Wow. Seems they need this video. That person just like self. Thank you, Break Room. Exactly. They need these lessons. But they're refusing to see it as a lesson. They think, oh, I'm not attacking her. I'm not coming for her. I'm talking about exactly what happened on my panel. What happened on my panel. And I have every right. It happened days ago. Yes, I'm a full-time college student. I'm a full-time employee. I'm a full-time mother. I have a life. I do. But these passions and these concerns, they don't just go away. They won't go away. Because it's a problem. Because I have 2 sons. And they got to grow up in this world. And if we don't recognize our behaviors now, I stay in fear of my children's future. And that's not a comfortable thing for me. You get what I'm saying? So either way, she stated that I said, and I did. I stated, And she said, well, Kevin wasn't aware that he could possibly have been triggering me because of my past. Well, see, first and foremost, my past wasn't the concern. You asked me about my past and I gave you my honest answer. And I could have denied you of that because look how you use it as a weapon to further taint somebody's character. Because I wasn't offended. I wasn't triggered. What it was is I heard a lot of different things, but I tuned away from it purposely. And the reason why is because just like I felt like for Brother Kevin, I didn't want to go into depths about it. It's too much. You get what I'm saying? So when he said it vocally, it was like my first time hearing it. It was my first time hearing it. And now she didn't like it, so she wanted to come on my panel and she wanted to tell everyone that those accusations weren't true. Now, she has every right to defend herself from these accusations, right? But guess what? So does Kevin. Kevin has every right to defend himself from accusations. And that is what he has been trying to do this entire time. Now, you don't want nobody saying nothing about yours. All he is asking is for you to do the same in return. Leave him alone. How hard is that? How hard is that? Now, in her response, she stated about this man's child, whether she knew if he was an adult or not, that was his child. And then she stated that you were aware of what hospital he had his newborn baby in. I did, V. I did. And then she went on to say how she has loved ones and giving out warnings towards Kevin because his response to her antagonizing him on my platform was not in her favor. This is how emotions further on a problem that could have been avoided had you would have just not said anything to Kevin like you stated you were going to do. It was just that simple. It was just that simple. I mean, you can't break it down even more than, I mean, what else do we have to do? You know what I'm saying? What else? What else do we have to do to get this point across? And then people are saying, oh, he is wrong. He is wrong. Well, in his eyes and in mine, she has been wrong for a long time. This man has come to her channel to speak with her in regards of these accusations on him. You can't go to his channel to see him discuss any accusations towards her because he has never. That was his first time because he was fed up. You just won't leave him alone. People just won't leave people alone. And now it says, well, I'm not going to say anything anymore because you allowed it to get that far. You forced it to get that far. And now you won't say anything anymore, which is good. I'm appreciative that you won't say anymore. But seriously, it did not have to get this far if you would have just visualized how you were making this problem worse. And then she goes on to say, you know, how she was mad at me. I'm mad at myself that I allowed this man to go through yet another abusive moment on my channel. How I have not been able to properly defend him in the way that I feel he should have been defended on more occasions than one. You get what I'm saying? It's very hurtful. He just went live. She is not with him alone. Kevin just went live. So I won't stay on long because I wanna see what Kevin has to say. You know what I'm saying? Because enough is enough. And then she goes on to say, she says, well, I won't come back to her channel no more. In so many words. And I will gladly hold her to that. I will gladly hold her to that. And the reason for that is because I don't want to have that type of interference on my platform ever again. That was hurtful. That was wrong. Not only did she make herself look bad, but she made me look bad. I sure will. I'll drop the link for you, brother. Hey, Brother Shaka, thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Y'all, it was just, it showed, it just gave a feeling to me that it was just out of control. Out of control. And you can't control people who don't, you can't control people and make them say things in your favor to play, to make your emotions better. No, it should not be that way before you determine whether you are going too far or not. It's just ridiculous to me. And I wanted to state that because we got to change that. We have to change these things, y'all. We literally do. I dropped the link for anybody who wants to come up and vocalize anything. And don't worry, I'm going to be getting some moderators too. Because it's disgusting as adults. Just to antagonize a man over and over and over and over and over. So yes, today was about self-awareness because a lot of people aren't self-aware. The basics of self-awareness. To not do something that you said that you weren't going to do. Hey, Brother V, thank you for coming, bro.
Hey, you're doing a great job, and I'm glad you're reviewing your video. I'm not going to stay long, but I just wanted to say, just always remember, there were other people supporting her while they knew she was abusive and sick.
Right.
Like straight up.
Right.
And she would have had no power if those people didn't support her. So
right.
It's like, you know, those people right now are ducking their heads. You know, and this always happens with the, I've seen this happen before. As soon as the psycho leader crashes out, the people that supported her disappear and duck their heads. But they need to come forward and talk about why did they ignore so many warning signs. They knew. Look, there was a video out where this lady pushed a child in the head, basically shoved her off of the screen. And the child was in, I guess, in her home with her while she was doing a live. But it's not the child's fault, you know. It's the adult's fault. You know, the child is just a kid, you know. But she shoved that child by the head, and you can hear the child go, like, you know, basically crying after. Now, here's the thing: a lot of people know that they've heard stories about her being bipolar. People heard all kinds of things, you know, and these persons, I'm not even saying women because it's not all women, it's some men too, right? They supported her no matter what. Those people are just as toxic because if they weren't toxic, they wouldn't have missed all those signs. They wouldn't have missed them all. So, you know, yeah, so it's not really about Neo because she only existed because of the people out there. She's a reflection of how many people out there really have problems, you know,
Yeah, right.
really are hateful. They are hateful. Those people are hateful. And they
Right.
couldn't put their hate away for a second to see that this woman is abusive. They made all kinds of excuses. This lady, she went up on somebody else's platform, on Sister Nanny's platform, and basically pissed her father. She brought her father, dead father's name up. Does this woman have no shame? She have no shame. And people, you know, I'm sorry, but those people that supported NeoX, they deserve the same punishment.
You're
They
right.
don't deserve to be able to duck their heads and pretend like they didn't support a really horrible, abusive person. And they let her sit up there and talk about she's doing this in the name of women and children, while basically going after people that really do care about women and children. You know, it's
Exactly.
crazy. So, you know, I just hope those people think about it. Remember, we know who you are. You supported her. You put comments up on the screen when you supported her when she dissed Shaka's mother. When she dissed Shaka's when she allowed Sonetta to diss Shaka's mother, they supported that.
Which was
When you
very
see
low.
somebody that was low, it's the same thing. Look, this person was foul, and they supported this person, and each time they turned a blind eye, and then they try to blame the people that stood up and said, no, you will not abuse me. These people supported mentally abuse. She's mentally abusive. She's abusive,
Yeah,
and they
she is.
supported that. So I don't know what's going on with those folks, but they really need to check themselves. Like, check themselves. Ask themselves how could they bring themselves to support such a horrible, horrible person. A horrible person.
Exactly.
Watching them go out there and abuse and abuse. And here's the thing. They thought it was cool because she was doing it to men. Well, us men, we can handle it. We're not stupid. We got game. We know how to play this. You see what I mean? But what
Right.
about the little kids? What about the mothers? You see? What about them? These
Exactly.
people didn't care about them either. You see? So that's all I wanted to say, sister. Thank you.
But you are dead on. And I want to say this. I know you're getting ready to drop down, but I want to say this to you, Brother Shaka and Kevin Wesley. And in my new beginnings of all my mistakes and trial and error, and I can even say it has not been the best of and I want to say I appreciate you guys because what I have noticed in you guys in y'all character is patient and understanding. And I know that moments could have been frustrating or questioning. You get what I'm saying? But just to, at least see that I, had the effort and I tried and I'm gonna keep trying and I'm gonna keep
Oh
improving.
yeah.
And I will never forget you guys. I will
Oh,
continue
you're
to raise you
excellent.
guys' name because you guys are amazing in that moment. You get what I'm saying?
You're amazing. You're amazing because look at how many people, sisters, are hating on you just for being good, for being a good person. You know,
Right.
check this one last thing is that that profile that you had to block Black Beauty. When you're done, and when you start your lives, do
Uh-huh.
the chat replay so you can go back and see who comes in the chat. And since you stopped it now, try to figure out if there's a way that I don't know if you had the chat replay set before you started the live, but in any case, if you find out who that profile is, you'll probably it would give you a good idea of what's behind it. Because if that platform is only like a couple of weeks old, then you pretty much know who it is. You know,
Okay.
this person,
How do I make moderators?
you just click on the right, see us you got to get out of StreamYard and go to
Oh,
the YouTube. You can just keep StreamYard open, but go
okay.
to the original YouTube stream on
Okay.
your browser or whatever. And then you can make people moderators. And you can even, if you didn't block Black Beauty, you could check and see, you would be able to go to that channel. But you can still do it because it's in your YouTube blocked profile section also, in your customization settings.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you're cool. But now you just go to the stream, the original stream, and you can make anybody you want a moderator by clicking right click on the buttons next to their comments.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop back down. What's up, baby?
Yeah, what's going on, man, VV? Yeah, shout out to the sister Angie, man. I just came on for a little bit because I don't know how long she's gonna be here, but I mean, it's like full circle, like I know she's new to this, and me personally, I don't even have a platform, so I really don't have none to gain from this, but other people have to gain, because a lot of people are trying to be informed, a lot of people are trying to be knowledgeable and they're searching for things. So I just want to, be clear and clarify certain things to them. So when they come on here, they wouldn't be fooled by these people, and it's been going on for a long time. And I just, with all due respect, you see what I'm saying? Whether it's Kevin Wesley, whether it's Zero X, whether it's whoever, when they're wrong, that's all we are here to do is to point out the wrong and try to make it right. You see what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah, what I mean? I appreciate everybody that support me, and I try to support everybody that's doing right and accepting their flaws and apologizing when they're wrong and sticking to the script and know what their purpose is. You see what I'm saying? So none
Right.
of these, and I even sympathize with Kevin Wesley, even if I don't know him that well. You see what I'm saying? And you just say he live, and I'm about to hop on his platform, his channel soon too, because I already see some of these videos when he showed about entitlement and people that cheat and they do yada yada and still think they're right, and he have every right to expose what's in the public already. He's not chasing nobody, he's not harassing nobody, he's not making up lies about nobody. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing. This girl has a hate for the man, that man she never knew, never met, he never did nothing to her. You
Right.
see, yeah, and that's the agenda. The agenda is you are trying to get clout and destroy somebody that never did nothing to you. And
Exactly.
yeah, and you know what I mean, like, and it happened before Kevin Wesley. She been doing this to Shaka, V Bennett, DMG,
Exactly.
Chris Harris, everybody that she called her friend. You see what I'm saying? But as soon as they disagree with her, even women, she does that too. So when women agree with her, she try to make it a gender thing. But when they don't, she just go off on a rant. You know what I mean? And it says a lot. You know what I mean? And even the thing with sister Nandy, you know what I mean? It's just another sister, regardless of how you feel about her, how she express herself, you know what I mean? Might be wrong, or you might feel a way about it because it's not comfortable, because of the words. At the end of the day, is what she's saying is true or not, you know?
Shoot, I don't and see, I don't even have a problem with the way she expresses because that's her authenticity. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's
Yeah.
good. And I think that she real and raw. You get what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with it. And I
Yeah.
think with Neo, she's trying to impersonate a certain type of characteristic, but you don't have the same authenticity. You don't have the same character. That's what's making it wrong. You get what I'm saying? Because what
Hmm.
I see in Sister Nandy, from what I just recently been seeing, is she has character. She got heart. You get what I'm saying? And what she is
Yes.
saying is truthful, and she's in no harm of anyone. And I do want, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to say it or not, but when seeing that clip about her father being spoken of, that
Hmm.
was disrespectful.
Yep, that was real low, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, it's a shame, you know what I mean? That the like I don't even, like I told you, like, one thing about people, like, in even myself, I try to hold myself accountable for the same things. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be no hypocrite, and I always try to check myself before I even open the door, because I know I'm a human just like these humans that fall into all these categories, and I don't want to do that. So, in saying that, you criticizing some people, you are making a name of people for what they so-called said or did towards you, but you turn around and do it to everybody else,
Right.
and you still don't see the problem till this day. Like, and to the point that the same people you be cursing and saying they going into, you doing the same thing like that. You talking about Sanetta and Napa, and she speaking in tones, but no, you speaking in tones and acting like you putting spells on people, and you telling
Right.
them they going to burn in hell. But somebody supposed to have sympathy for you, and you keep crying victim. Are you serious? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's all about logic. It's all about common sense with me. It's no emotion. It's no bias. It don't matter who you are. What are you standing for? And do you listen to what you come out your mouth? And when are you gonna apologize? And when you gonna take heed to that you could be wrong as well? Everybody is wrong at some time. So, in saying that, like, she never had to take it this far, but she too
Never.
busy. Yeah, she too busy thinking about YouTube being monetized and views and clout, just like the same people, Sanetta and all of them people that did her the same thing. She's doing the same thing. She's more worried about a platform than her dignity. And if you have dignity and principles and morals, your platform is gonna go to the roof if you stay to the script. You see what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
yeah, so that's what I wanted to say.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and
Because and you guys have been these brothers have been highlighting a lot of her tactics. You get what I'm saying? And when she showed some of these ways on my panel, you get what I'm saying? And see, and what I did was overall, I played in the favor of being accountable and coming towards her in my accountability. You get what I'm saying? And even after that, she stated in multiple videos, even though she tried to, have her little slick comments, she tried to acknowledge my accountability, right? Even on my panel, she tried to acknowledge my accountability. But this is how you know if somebody is in respect of you, is when they start to become disrespectful in your presence.
facts. And you did not do that on her platform. You see the
Right.
difference?
I mean, it's just ridiculous. The behavior. Everything she does is right, but everything anybody else does, just because it's in opposition to her, it's wrong. And that's not okay. That's a problem. I'm not asking you to agree with anything, but what I'm trying to get, and it's the point that I've been trying to get to everyone since the beginning of me speaking, is that it's what you do within this disagreement. It's how you respond. It's how you behave. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to agree, but you don't have to be disrespectful.
Right, right, exactly. And it's like that's like everyday life situations. You see what I'm saying? So even at the job I'm at now, even if I ain't being treated fair or being recognized for what I do, I'm not gonna, curse and go on. I'm gonna bring it to the table and show and prove. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
exactly. So even when somebody, what I mean, somebody take heed to what you were saying and allow you to come on their platform and have a voice and protect you and back you because what was happened to you was wrong, and we know that, so we're gonna take, we're gonna stand for what's right. You see what I'm saying? So when you go and you double cross the person and you still allow the same person that they was protecting you from to come on your platform and they disagree with you, in order of going the higher route and seeing their point of view and apologizing, because even if you might not think you're wrong, everybody else think you're wrong, or whoever you offended thought you was wrong, and the
Right.
same person you allow to come on your platform is still disrespecting you and calling you out your name till this day. You see
Right.
what I? So, but you still can't see you're wrong. So it just make you look hypocritical, and you have an agenda, and you are not about truth. You are not about righteousness. You are not about sticking to the script and protecting the children, because it's only when it happens to you it's an issue. And it's the same thing that you accuse Napa of, which is so-called son and a wife, side chick. Let's not go there. But
Right.
you accusing women of doing the same thing you were doing.
Exactly.
You know, and it's sad, you know what I mean? And then when it comes to men, you just disrespect them just because you have some kind of agenda against men. And that don't have nothing to do with you being gay, because there are a lot of people that are gay, but they don't accuse and disrespect the other gender just because they have a certain lifestyle. And it's
Right.
obvious to see, you know what I mean? So it's like, man, you got to be respectful, you know. And same thing, you criticizing people of being homophobic before, because you was hiding in the closet till you came out. As soon as you come out, all you do is criticize people of being homophobic, homos, even if they are not. So make
Right.
it make sense, you know. So I just feel like, regardless of what they say and how they try to come at you, you are not out there slandering people. You're not out here being homophobic. You are not out here disrespecting people. You are just stating your opinion, and that's what it is.
Exactly. And I want to say this so everybody can be clear. From henceforth, my accountability for anything that I see that I do wrong does not mean that I change my mind about how I feel about how these men have been treated, how a lot of men in our reality have been treated. And it continues on and on and on. And I don't know if Kevin is going to come to this live, but I'm going to say it now. I want to give him an apology for having that experience on my platform. I was inconsiderate towards him. I allowed someone who has continued to mistreat him on my panel. It was not fair to him. I was wrong and she was wrong. And he was further antagonized on my platform. And that will never happen to anyone on my platform ever again. She has stated that she won't be coming back over here. Good, because she's no longer welcomed. Because that behavior I will not have, especially if you're speaking in reference to victims. You totally just re-victimize Kevin Wesley on my platform with your own behaviors and your antics that he's been saying this entire time. Even that show, he was stating some of her tactics. And over all of that, I gave her an opportunity to see if my accountability would give her a changed mind on how she responds and behaves toward this man, and it did not work. It did not change.
Yeah.
And I'm very apologetic to him.
Yeah, I mean, I could only understand, you know, what I mean, what the guy is going to, because, like I said, I don't know him personally. So, for people to even make that assumption, you know what I mean, or try to convince people that he's something and they don't know him in no way, shape, or form, and trying to take people that he had dispute with or was friends with. And a lot of human beings go to that. A lot of people that you think is your friend, they are not really your friend. You know, they talk behind your back, they wish they had what you have, and yada yada. So for you to try to accuse somebody you don't know, you and it's only because of the jealousy, because he might
Right.
have more than one wife, or she went to the thing like, oh, people in Africa have more than one wife because they rich. And you know how ignorant you sound to even say that. Like,
Right.
this man pockets, or any man in America pockets, to say if he deserved more than one wife. So I think it's a real hatred towards men. And she's the same one that spoke on her and her so-called partner having threesomes. Like, make it make sense. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So for her to do these things, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's stalking, it's harassment, You know, the guy is not doing nothing illegal for him to be locked up, for him to be in jail, for you to pursue any kind of thing to say you're trying to protect any black community or anything like that. Because
Exactly.
she befriend the guy first in order for him to come on her platform. Then she went against him. You see what? And she does that to a lot of
Exactly.
people. You
She's
know,
been doing
so
that this whole time.
yeah, it's
And
an
and
agenda.
and that was the other thing that Kevin wanted to state to me, how I came out in the beginning, and how he, he had respected that, because I had stated, a lot of things in reference to that behavior. You get what I'm saying? My mind didn't change. My mind didn't change. I do acknowledge where he was coming from. And so with that, I'm definitely going to start making those statements again. Yes, she's most definitely a femcel. She most definitely has tactics against these men. I don't care about how nice she tries to play it because of my statements in regards to how I came towards her. I don't care about that, because I haven't started this platform for me. I started because of the behaviors that have been mistreating these men. And it's not okay. And she is most definitely an agent. You came to distract, to divide, and to destroy.
Yeah, and she learned a lot of them tactics from where she came from, because like I said, the same thing she was accusing people of doing her before she came out the closet. She's doing that to everybody she run across to. And like I said, she does it to the women as well. But when it comes to men, she really goes to the extent, you see, because
Right,
she has this hatred for men. I ain't gonna even speak on her past because everybody have their past. You see what I'm saying?
right.
And I could be up here accusing women of hurting me or lying to me or telling me don't hurt them, and they turn around and hurt me. I could, but I'm not that kind of person. You see what I'm saying? I'm always gonna give humans the benefit of a doubt because I'm a human. You see what I'm saying? And I always try to look for the best in everybody, but I'm also aware to don't trust nobody and always protect myself because of what I've been through. But I don't hate nobody, and I'm not gonna have an agenda against women just because they're the opposite gender. So that's another thing I'm being aware of her. Whatever her past may be. But it's funny that she has this hate for men, but we hearing all kind of news about her mother used to be a lesbian as well. You know what I'm saying? And it's just awkward. I just think, like I said, like the other day, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, and I felt like I was feeling bad for some of these women and the trauma and all that they must have been through because they don't even have common sense and logic in their understanding. It's so filled with emotion.
Right.
Because the same thing, a lot of them that's over there before Shaka and V Bennett, they didn't even have a voice. They didn't even know who Neo was. So, and they used to agree with Shaka and V Bennett a lot when it comes to men that was wrong. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to a woman being wrong, they couldn't even accept the truth. So the
Right.
trauma, it just shows, like it's sad, and it's in every genre when it comes to black men and black women. We have a lot of healing to do. So,
Right. And
but
that's
black,
that's
go
the
ahead.
that's the opportunity that I was trying to give, to give that healing, give
Yeah,
room for
facts.
healing. But that didn't work out. That ended up affecting someone else even further. And I don't know, I'm not gonna play that game. We're not gonna play this game over here. We're not gonna do it. Because that made me feel incredibly, incredibly bad. I didn't feel that great coming from that interview I had with her, but after that session on my own panel, I definitely didn't feel that great afterwards. That was not okay. That was not okay to me.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just, it's sad, what I'm saying, but it is what it is. And to the point that you even disrespecting, hold on one second.
I mean, we all got to get to a point, us women, we got to start looking at ourselves. You can take one moment and turn it into an entire problematic situation and then blame the other person and not even realize that it was you that
Or,
did it.
or you
That's
had some
crazy.
kind of part to play in it. You
And,
see?
and, 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 and then to say that he took over the whole show, he did not take over the whole show. Neo took over the whole show. Neo did not have to say anything to this man at
Yeah.
all. She even stated that she wasn't going to say anything to him. She
Yeah,
lied.
I didn't even see that part until you played it today. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy because like it didn't have nothing to do with her. Why she's even interfering in you and Kevin Samuel's dialogue? Because she can't even allow the truth to be spoken, even when it's not even nothing disrespectful. It's just pointing out the truth and every angle of the situation. And like
Right.
the guy said, he never disrespected you. He never came at you and accused you. He was trying to explain to you and show you where you were making your assumption before you even research what you were talking about.
Right.
So, and like I said, man, it's sad that, I don't know what like people are into, and you gotta be careful coming on these things, on these platforms because when people see you are gaining light and you have a platform and you have followers, they are jealous regardless because some of them come and she wasn't you see what she's doing now, sis. In the beginning she wasn't doing that. She was on a biblical narrative on Sanetta's channel, the same Sanetta that she don't like and say she was going to sue and all of that. She came out on YouTube with that narrative. But since Sanetta dropped her and they don't get along no more, she start going at everybody. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
So even her whole objective and her whole standpoint changed. Everything about Nia was about biblical narrative and getting debates. But because it didn't work out between she and Sanetta, she took a whole nother route and start attacking everybody that has a platform that she has some kind of disagreement or point of view that she don't even know. And
right.
this is how she got in contact with all these people, even including Kevin Samuels. He don't know her. But
Right.
you see what I'm saying? So it's self-evidence, that is jealousy, is hatred, because these same people have their platform and trying to sell you something, but then get mad and criticize other people that's trying to sell you something. Like make it make sense, man. But like people they don't want to see the truth. They don't want to see their flaws. They don't want to accept their flaws. And if you can't start with that, you wouldn't get nowhere, as a human being, period.
Period. That's the whole part of growth. Seeing where you could went wrong and where you can change it. That's
Yeah.
the whole part of growth. And when you refuse to do that and you carry on with the same behaviors and having the same cycles over and over, at some point it is no longer an accident, it is purpose. It is your purpose to do it. And
Facts.
that is the problem. Like goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've and that's been my whole thing this whole entire time because all of the toxicity on YouTube. You don't want to change your character. You don't want to change improving. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
argument at the argument everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It just won't stop.
Nope. It won't stop. Because at the end of the day, even those people that we gave a chance, we gave an opportunity, hold on one second, to have a voice, we never asked them to come on our platform. You see what I'm saying? We were standing on what we standing for. Whether it's people scamming people, whether it's people taking advantage of people, touching children, whatever the case may be, that's what we stand for. It's like self-awareness, a voice, to give the victims a voice. But when you have people that continually act like they are for the same thing, then turn around and create a diversion, create confusion because they have an agenda, it becomes a problem to the point that the same people that they know is the enemy, they will allow them to be on their platform or vice versa just for views. And like the
Just for
sister,
clicks
the
and views.
yeah, it's okay to get views, it's okay to be heard. Just like, I'm an artist, I mean, I wish I could be heard even 10 times more than what I'm doing now. But I'm not gonna self myself, I'm not gonna belittle myself and become a character, and say all kind of outlandish things and act like a serial killer and show my ass just for views. I just don't have it in me. I'm gonna be who I am. And that's the thing about it. Do it the right way.
The
I
right
want,
way.
yeah, I want you the best. I wish you the best. I want everything good for you, but just do it the right way. And they can't even see that's the issue. If you do it the right way, you would have never had all these conflicts with all these so-called people you used to call your friend that you never even knew. You the one that came to them. They never came to you. But anyway,
Right.
and like I said, man, at the end of the day, hopefully we could get forward and we could have real conversation and keep the peace and stop showing our ass off, so to
Right.
speak. Yeah. But go ahead.
And be mature adults. And all that tough guy act where somebody's supposed to be intimidated because of the things that you done went through and all this and what you feel like you really about and everything like that. No, nobody's falling for that. Nobody is falling for that. Everybody can see behind that. Everybody notice behind that because your behaviors are telling on you. The way you communicate is telling on you. The threats or the warnings, quote unquote, that are distasteful that were made is an emotional response because something is not going in your favor or working in the form of the manipulation that you place out. It's not okay to threaten someone or to state things about how you know where their child was born or to talk about children's sexuality or to make statements talking about how other men are going to come to resolve a situation that you couldn't resolve on your own or not create on your own. That's the problem.
Yeah.
In this community, in the black community, we have toxic women running around all the time, antagonizing men, and then when men finally work up to give you the response
Mm-hmm.
that you can't stand, you run and you go include other men and into your trauma, into your problems, resulting in them getting in trouble or having problems because you didn't know how to behave. You didn't know how to respect yourself. That's the problem. Men don't have to defend these women. Women need to start defending these men because a lot of things can be resolved if you would have just stuck to what you said you was going to do and not speak
Exactly.
to him at all. I'm
Exactly.
highly offended.
Facts. And the thing is, when men, they always speaking of men don't defend them, but when there are a few men that actually defend them, they turn around and call them soft, they gay, they this, they that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So they rather be with people like the other men that disrespect them and them out their name and slap them across the face. And we see it over and over again with these females. You know what I mean? They want the guy that act tough and the guy that has the money or the guy that goes to church, but he's the one beating on them and taking advantage of them and don't treat them like a queen. But when men step up and actually show their feelings and show their emotions and show them that they care for them just like every other human, they soft and they this and they that, and you
Right.
wonder why we have so much conflict. But
You want that toxic stuff.
yeah, exactly.
And this man gave great patience on my platform. And I allowed this whole show to go on with him being disrespected. I took a real look at myself and seen how I would the opportunity that I was given for someone else to become a better person turned me into becoming the same person she was against him. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And then I was going to come up here and highlight how it was necessary so that I can show on this video. But her response that she made on her platform towards Kevin, that bothered me. And I realized something.
That's
And I said it before.
that's after she dropped from your channel. She made a response.
Yep, she made a response to him and made a video to Brother Shaka.
Oh yeah, I saw some of Shaka one, but I didn't know she made a response. But yeah, like uh today she made a whole channel private. So it's crazy, man. You know,
And that
like
was just so ridiculous because we see it every day where a female will be disrespectful to a man, and then when he turns out to be disrespectful back, she'll say, "Oh, I'm going to get my brother. I'm going to get my uncle. I'm going to get my man," and all this and that. And then you bring these men towards this man
yep.
to attack him when you could have seriously just been quiet and left him alone, like he been saying the whole time. Just leave me alone. This man had to work up into frustration and say something that you didn't like. He called you a bitch. And guess what? He had every right. He had every right to go in further with his anger and talk about whatever he wanted to talk about. He had every right. And when I was talking about not cursing on my platform, I wasn't talking to him. And I wasn't talking to anybody about that. Let me clarify. What I was saying is aiming it towards somebody, attacking somebody with it. To call somebody a bitch ass nigga. Ain't nothing about Kevin bitch. He stood his ground. And he did it wisely. He spoke with sense. He actually
Exactly.
was giving you a response
Yeah,
as an adult.
she didn't respect the intelligent response, you see? She want like and that's another thing. She did the same thing with Shaka and V. Bennett, you know, or even DMG. You know what I mean? Even Chris Harris, even if he was wrong for what he did, he even apologized and this and that. You see what I'm saying? But she can't even accept it. You see what I mean? I don't know what he did or what they did to her, whatever, but it's all a charade with this YouTube stuff. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing personal. Nobody ain't touched nobody. Nobody ain't slap nobody mama. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
yeah, so it's the same thing. Like even Shaka said in the beginning, like he don't agree with what she did, and but he's just done with her and he can't trust her. You see what I'm saying? But she
Right.
have to respond. She can accept it. She have to respond. She have to be right, even when she's wrong. And the person that said she was wrong didn't even disrespect her to the point that they have to call her fake activist because she can't even leave it alone and apologize. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? And regardless of if it's like I told them earlier, if I'm a basketball player or a movie actor, and somebody say, "Man, you ain't no movie actor, you ain't no ball player," I'm not gonna go call the person gay and disrespect them and call them out their name and all kind of stuff. I'm just gonna go out there and play ball.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like you just proving and showing and proving that you're not what you stand for, and your actions say that. That's why everybody's questioning your actions. Nobody didn't disrespect you. Nobody didn't call you gay, even if you were gay. You see,
Right.
but you calling people that are straight men gay just to get clout, just to win, to win over men. Like the agenda is so pathetic. I just don't get it, my girl. But hey,
And then you got the people in the comments talking about, oh, you can sue and you can sue Angie and you can sue Kevin. Here's the thing when I heard that. Because Neo was not an adult and did not know how to handle an adult situation, She needs another adult to intervene. So if that is how we are going to get things resolved, by all means, because I'm going to ride with what Kevin said. And if I have any consequence, and if it is possible, which I highly doubt, but if I have any consequence behind Kevin doing anything from this point or any point, I'm going to stand behind them 10 toes. So if you feel like you need to get another adult to intervene and take me to court, by all means, I will not hinder you. Do not stop. Continue. Don't have a soft spot about it. Don't question about it. Don't hesitate. Don't do anything. Go get a lawyer. Everybody got lawyers nowadays. Go get your lawyer. Take me to court. Do whatever you feel.
Yeah. Please, sis, don't even worry about that, man. Because
I'm not worried about it. I wasn't worried about it when you said it, because at the end of the day, y'all are my brothers, Black brothers in this Black community. I'm standing for that. And if you want to take me to court for anything that is said on my platform from my Black brothers, by all means necessary. Go for what you know.
Yeah, and I'm standing for all my Black sisters too. Not those others that don't have a mind. I'm talking about the genuine ones, the down to earth ones, the connect to nature and creator ones, the dignity and classy and have morals and principle ones. So don't get it twisted. She's standing for the sisters as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's crazy because like I told you, like she been doing things to people 10 times worse than anybody has done to her other than Mr. Sanetta. You know what I'm saying? But and people been doing 10 times worse to her, and she always talk that Sue and da 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 da. It's a game they play, it's tactics,
Right.
And that's the problem. We don't have time for the games. We don't have time for the ignorance. We don't have time for the bias. We sticking on principles. And if she had stick on principles, we would even be here as far as Shaka and wap. And even if she didn't, she can't even apologize. Like that's like not telling your mama you sorry for all the trauma you caused her when you was young because you were a bad kid. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But anyway, it's crazy. Go ahead.
To make that type of threat, no, that's not okay. He was on my platform, and you made that type of threat based upon what he stated of you antagonizing him on my platform. So now I feel responsible for the entire thing as a whole. So yes, and I'm gonna keep repeating it. I'm totally okay with Kevin going off. I'm okay with him with everything he stated when he went off too. As he should. As he deserved. You get what I'm saying? So if I got to go to court because that's what everybody's stating, which I highly doubt, and I'm not worried about whatsoever, cool. Because that don't put no scare in me. I mean what I say, and I'm standing on what I'm standing on. I've been standing on it the whole time. But see, nobody want to take you serious until you show them, that you from the struggle too. So I got to speak a certain way to get that type of respect. I got to behave in a certain manner to get that type of respect.
Yep.
But I'm from the trouble too. You get what I'm saying? Since we're gonna talk about my past traumas and what affected me and all this and that, and you want to play it in your favor. Well, here's one thing that you don't know about me. I'm from that hood. I've been about that life too. Since we want to be about lives, that doesn't fear anybody. As a Black community, we all have stories. Your story does not intimidate mine whatsoever. Threats to go to court do not intimidate mine whatsoever. I choose to have a better character. I choose to speak better. I choose to be a better person, not for anybody, but for myself. And you don't have to approve. I never came for anybody's approval. I never even acknowledged my faults in anything because of your approval. I'm not playing in favor to you. My acknowledgement of what I did to you was not to let you know that I changed my mind about how I felt about these men. It ain't never been that. How I felt about this man have always been the same. And I may not have been the best representative in certain situations, but my mind has not changed. But that's okay, since we want the real, authentic truth. We wanna be hood with it. We can get hood with it. Cause hood with it ain't something that's not normal to me. I see it every day just like everybody else. And if anybody feel like somebody gonna run me off of anything, if anybody feel like they're gonna further disrespect anybody on my platform, let me be the first to tell you it's a no-go. It's not an opportunity. And I'm changing how that goes. Neo X not welcome. Any of her puppets that want to come on this platform and speak disrespectful to these men, you're no longer welcome. We're not going to play this. This is my house. And I don't want to have to repeat in the same manner anymore. In my own home, in reality, I'm the queen of this throne. I'm the queen of this castle. I don't argue with nobody. There's no arguments in my home. Not with my man and not with my children. We respect one another. We listen to each other. We express our feelings. We give perspectives. And we're able to identify and progress based upon those observations. We have a mature insight. And that is what we're going to have on this channel. And if that can't be respected, you will be dismissed. People want to come on and play on people's top. Don't play on my top. Go to your own channel and be disrespectful on your own channel. When I came to her channel, I was not disrespectful whatsoever to no one. I ate everything. I ate that. So now when we come to my channel, I expect the same in return. And if you can't handle that, there's no further dialogue that we need to have. We'll never have to speak again. I did not personally invite Neo over here. I did not personally ask Neo to want to come to my platform and speak. You barricaded your way over here. And that was very disrespectful because you didn't know how to handle yourself. Yeah. And that is the problem that we have in this community. A lot of females running around with their ass in the air, got their smells coming behind them, and they don't have no regards to how it affects nobody else. You're not going to continue to make me look bad, especially on my platform. I gave you, and I opened you. I expressed your presence with open arms. With open arms, regardless to how you treated this man. And you still got on my platform and mistreated him. And I allowed it. Now you want to hear some cursing? That was fucked up of me. Since we want to talk about cursing, because the lingo is easy. Let's not get it twisted. Because see, nothing about me is all over the internet. I know enough about Neo because she states it. But don't be confused by me wanting to have a sense of etiquette with my behavior and my mannerism that I can't be. Let's not get that confused. See, to be disciplined, that is the practice. That is what I practice. But to be Angie from round the corner, oh, that's a lifestyle. I'm sorry, Brother Heru. I just got mad.
No. I'm listening. You know, I was just in the background smiling because, like you said, everything you saying is true. Like I be going through the same emotions. You know what I mean? So, like you said, we all, most of us come from the struggle. We all know hard times. We all have to stick up for ourselves. We all know we mature now. We all know that what we came from is not what life is, and that's why I try to show a lot of people too, especially females, you know, like all that partying and dressing and materialistic and all of that. That's not what life is. Like once you understand and you've been through it, you learn and you become a better person. You see what I'm saying? That's what we all trying to be. And we trying to show that example on YouTube. That's what V Bennett and Shaka been trying to do. Me, Andrea, and everybody that stands for something been trying to do. But those that are two-faced and are fake, they be jumping from fence to fence because they haven't got it themselves, you know, and that's something personal. So
and what I notice is most people who portray themselves in that light online, they ain't really that person in real life. Because I don't have to flex that type of stuff online. I don't have to prove that online. We'll never see each other face to face. So what's the point of me trying to prove to you who the baddest man slapped my hand on the internet?
Yep.
Like, let's just be real with it.
I don't get it, my girl. You know,
Like that to me shows that it's some flaw. That is not real. That is who you want to be. It's not who you are. And that's the point that I've been trying to get across as well. Stop faking the funk. Like you just some big, tough, strong, intimidating person. Like, ain't nobody scared of you.
yeah, like I said, like they on the. It's the same thing, Like I said, like I be just sitting back and watch because it's not just her, it's not just him, it's the whole society, like we allow these instruments to detect our character,
Right.
and we allow materialistic things and money to detect our character. And it's the same thing if YouTube never gave people a check for exposing everybody and things that shouldn't be talked about, or a lot of people became enemies on the internet. Some people have died over it, you know what I mean? So that's where it becomes an issue. They even forgot their purpose. Their purpose just becomes the money. No
Right.
matter how many people get hurt, no matter how many people they scam and lie to, and give them a biblical narrative or sell them some kind of product or insurance or credit fraud or whatever, man. That's what's going on. And no matter how high or low you are in the whole situation, you are still contributing to the bullshit.
Right.
And that's what's happening here, and we still can't even see it. Like, you're not gonna be legendary. You're not gonna be build a legacy of YouTube. You're not you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, stop making your head so big. You're not a movie star or actor, activist that actually is gonna go down in record for doing something credential for any black community. So all the nonsense they're trying to preach to people is just to fatten their pockets. That's the sad thing about it.
It's
But
real sad.
yeah, go ahead.
And I want to get back to, like, showing the discipline. And I just got, I don't know, like I've been, like, when I first came on, I was mad, I was angry, I was emotionally involved. And I tried to back away from that type of format. You get what I'm saying? But just to see that type of threat towards this man, all because I allowed you to come on to my panel and be disrespectful to him, that hurts me. That really, really hurts me.
And you know what's the sad thing, Angie? You were new. You were new to this thing. You see what I'm saying? You just building your platform. But it's so biased and so gender biased that she can have no woman backing any man that she has a feud with. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
she did the same to Sister Nandy. Because even if certain things Sister Nandy had an issue with Shaka and B. Bennett, she never went at them. She never called them out their name or tried to make them something they are not. So it's the same thing with her. She had to go at Sister Nandy because she's here exposing Neo for being wrong and defending Sanetta, the same one that she supposedly hates. You see what I'm saying? So it's mind-boggling that she even couldn't let you and Kevin have a conversation on your little platform that's still growing. So
Yeah, the one that she said that she wouldn't even look at from the first place.
yeah, exactly. They're full of it. But she had to win you over. You see, it was more and about it didn't have nothing to do with the truth. Or she gonna win another woman over to prove her point. You see? So the agenda is just sickening, man.
And I hate that I ultimately ended up being a part of that. And I was trying to see if there was a chance. And a lot of people had said it before. They had already, they played into that. And now I get it. You get what I'm saying? Hard heads make a soft behind. That's the statement, right? And so that's what I did. I played into that. And then her role of further mistreatment towards these fellas, it continued. It worsened. And so I had to take accountability in how I played in that. And I'm most certainly upset about that. I'm regretful towards that because that's not fair. And I'm learning a lot of lessons in my beginnings, right? I would never. Once you show me who you are, I'm gonna believe it. Cause see, I have a big heart, and in reality, like in the world that I live in, I give a lot of people chances in consideration that they'll be able to see things differently. But it's very evident that that's not gonna be possible online. So I I have to stick to my guns and keep it safe and keep it basic because you know that was hurtful to me. If it didn't hurt anybody else, it hurt me. I wasn't proud of that. I was not okay with that. I really wasn't. So I just I'm just getting to the point where I'm laying down some laws and some boundaries over here. And I am in favor of these men. And anyone who is not in favor are no longer welcome. If you don't want to hear what they have to say, don't come. If you want to be disrespectful in the chat towards them, don't type because it's an automatic ban for me. It's an automatic ban.
Yeah, you gotta take a stand somewhere, and that's what Shaka and V Bennett been trying to do for the most part. Even sometimes I get mad at them because some things they do and allow some people to speak their mind. I wouldn't even allow it, but I understand why they do it. You see what I'm saying? And it even make them look better because it just show the simplicity in some people's mind. And like I said, the worst part about it is the same thing that Neo was accusing people for, and Sanetta and yada yada. She turned around and do the same thing. Her platform become the same thing. So the tactics that she's doing, she's learned from that HOK family. You see what I'm saying? And she still doesn't observe that she's doing it because, and not because she don't know, it's because she doesn't want to admit that she's wrong. And that's the hypocritical thing about human beings. And I had to, like I said, I had to learn that myself when I was a younger man, and realize when I was younger, a lot of the things my parents did and was saying were actually true, and I was ignorant. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
if you can start there, you wouldn't start nowhere. And like I said, that's what it is. Like you said, like she didn't have, but like I said, she's so used to it. She's so used to doing it to people, and vice versa. And that's what we've been trying to avoid. And that's what we don't do on our platform. No matter if we disagree, we're not going to be disrespectful and call people out their name. It just shows that you are flawed, and you don't stand for nothing that you say you stand for. But go ahead.
At all. At all. And it's to a point where you're not refusing. I mean, you're not even just refusing to see yourself. You're you're doing we just got to cut to the chase. You doing this on purpose. You're doing this on purpose. Everybody has been stating it. Giving you the benefit of the doubt is nothing but a waste. It only further traumatizes someone. It further triggers people. It's further offense to people. It's a bother to everyone. Literally everyone that comes in contact with you has a sense of offense towards something that you say or do. Like, no, 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 it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. What has been going on is not okay. I don't know if Brother Kevin's still live. Oh, let me see.
Yeah, we could go check out what he's talking about.
I do want to know what he's talking about. I wonder. Let me see real quick. He's probably talking about the whole situation, about the threat and everything. Like, let me see something real quick. I don't know why, but my computer loves to act up when I go live. I don't know what that means, but he's live right now. Let's see what he's talking about. Let me address this real quick. Okay, I'm about to go in his live and see what he's talking about, and hopefully he might later. And
All right, sis.
I'm definitely gonna try to go live again tomorrow too.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump over there and see what he's talking about too.
All right, see y'all later.
All right, peace.